Here we go. We're live, Mike.
All right, let's do this
We've
then.
been talking about the podcast for a while now. Command the Commute. I'm Bob. This is Mike. This podcast is all about us press and record when we're in the driveway and press and upload when we get to the stadium. Now, there's no game this week, but it's an away game. But we're going to test out this whole thing. We are currently in my mom's camper van.
Known as Coach,
a.k.a. Coach. And we're just going to hit the road. So I'm putting it in reverse. We're going to do a little test run here and kind of give everybody a little bit of taste about what we kind of talk about on the drive to the game. Okay, I'm in the grass. All right. Lead us away, Mike. I know the directions to where we're going for today.
All right, so beginning of the season, what are we thinking? What are we up to?
Well, I just can't wait because we were in the NFC Championship game last year, Mike. We were one game from the Super Bowl, and I think it's worth mentioning, like, I'm 36, which means in 1991, the last time we won the Super Bowl, I was 1.5 years old. So when you say die hard, like, this generation of Skins fans are die hard. You're 41, two. So that puts you at what, 5 or 6 seeing that Super Bowl? Were you born for, I guess, when were you born?
5 or 6 is right, but no, I was not a fan. I don't remember any of that stuff.
You're that young, you don't know. But when were you born? Because we won in 88?
Well, I was born in 84, and then we won in...
So you were alive for 2.
Yeah. Alive, but didn't know it.
Yeah, so it's like the old hats at Thanksgiving, my uncles and my dad, when they start talking about the glory days and stuff. Like, people don't understand. Like, our glory days was Joe Gibbs 2.0, which was fun, but it didn't result in a Super Bowl.
Right. I mean, so these are our glory days of sense. If JD lives up to.
Yeah, just 1 year of Jaden Daniels, but then again, you know, the other fans in the league are gonna always want to bring up like RG3, and we got to remember our history too. Like, we only got 1 season of him.
Yeah.
So we know what it's like to to get a taste and then have it all ripped away, literally. But that's the past. This is the future. Jaden Daniels is the future.
Yeah, and we're going into our second season as ticket holders.
Yes. So last year, Mike convinced me to come help him pick out his season ticket location, and I said, I'll go check it out with you. Any excuse to go to the stadium. I didn't think that I was going to commit until I realized, well, I went to 5 or 6 games the year before, and the season ticket prices going into last year were less than what I was typically paying buying tickets, so we just took the plunge and did.
Yeah, we were paying more out of pocket on a per game than if we just did the season tickets. When you look at all the money we spent.
It was a rainy day that day, too.
Yeah.
Rainy and cold day in March. Trucking around, and we were the only ones that wanted to go up to the upper level.
Nobody wanted to let us go up there.
Well, the thing is, and we identified it. We knew it. I used to sit in my owner's seats. My previous employer, he used to have seats, and he'd give me his tickets from time to time, and it was row 1 on the away side, and I love those seats, just sitting row 1.
Yeah, and if you're going to be in that upper level, that 400 upper level, you need to be row 1 or it's not worth it.
I mean, I'm not going to shoot anybody down that wants to get season tickets wherever they want to get them in the stadium, but the price difference between row 1 and row 3 isn't that much, and we pretty much went from 20-yard line
to the other 20
looking for 2 seats in row 1 of the upper level. And
if you remember, those were the last 2 seats up there, if I recall, from what the guy told us when we purchased the tickets that day, that they were like the last two seats in that upper level.
Of course, all the salesmen are like trying to get.
Well, they didn't want us to go up there. They wanted us to stay.
Maze trying to figure out where the one elevator was working to get to the upper level.
Yeah.
So they don't want you to go to the upper level.
No, they want you to stay at club level or go down to the field level.
Yeah.
But really, when you go to those season ticket things, they want you in club level because that's where all the extra stuff is, and that's the big money maker right there.
Well, we can't really talk too much smack on that because this season, what did we do?
We bought club level tickets.
We're club level and we kept the other ones. So we were row 1, home side, somewhere around. It's hard to tell from the angle that we sit at.
Between like the 20 and 25.
No, I think we're closer over. I tell people we're at the 40 just because it depends on how I angle in my seat. It feels like I'm at the 40.
Yeah, I guess it would, maybe.
Maybe the 30.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Doesn't
this
matter.
year we're basically same section, just lower in the club level. Last year we didn't get a parking pass. We were going to float around, see which parking lots we wanted to be in, even though...
Well, we ended up, except for your family game, we ended up in the red zone lot every game, I'm pretty sure, except for that one game.
And what a pain.
Yeah, that was
pain.
That was a cluster.
So Coach, the camper conversion van, it's basically the size and shape of an Amazon truck. Maybe a hair bigger, maybe a hair taller. But
Like RV size, but not really an RV.
See, that's the whole thing. Remember they trying to get, you got to go to the RV lot. It's like, I didn't buy a parking pass for the RV lot.
Right.
Well, what lot was purple or yellow?
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. But we told them, no, this isn't an RV. It's a van. Just because there's 8 people in this thing, and just because it's got a toilet, doesn't mean it's an RV. Well, I don't know. People would argue with me on that, I guess. Recreational vehicle. I guess it is a recreational vehicle. It's our tailgate mobile.
Or it's going to be this year.
Yeah. Well, depending on the sound quality, we don't know if we're all going on.
Yeah, that'll be, yeah.
Anyway, we're coming from Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, and the immediate road to get out of my house is basically, my nieces and nephew call it like a roller coaster road because it's got the hills, the jumpy hills.
It's basically Western Maryland adjacent. Not that anyone's going to know
right
what that
on the
is.
line. Yeah, I'm right on the line. I'm barely a Pennsylvania, people. Barely Pennsylvania. Mile over the line. So since we've been driving from my house, we are now in Maryland. So barely.
Well, yeah, because it's like maybe a mile from your driveway.
Right. We head through Leitersburg, just north of Hagerstown, and we hit the highway 70 east. We hit 70 east right at the Smithsburg-Boonesboro exit. So we're going to basically drive to the Smithsburg-Boonesboro park and ride, hang a Louie onto 70 West, and we're just going to drive to the bar for happy hour and kind of recap how this conversation went, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
What's your drink of choice?
Jack and Ginger.
Is that because you are a ginger?
I think so, yeah. Unless it's summertime and you're outside, then it's an Orange Crush.
I recently found out that Orange Crush is it recently was named Maryland's state drink as of like early June of 2025.
Oh, I thought it was already like the
I think it was the unofficial drink, but whoever the powers that be are in the state of Maryland that get to dictate the state drink,
they finally made it official.
They made it official. Now, I'll give you one guess what the drink was prior to the Orange Crush.
Natty? Natty Bo?
Oh, nope. Now, I say drink, and we automatically assume alcoholic beverage, but that's
wrong of us.
That's not the case. It's not the case. So that's your one hint. It's a non-alcoholic beverage.
I have no idea because I don't know what else. It is not. There's no way it's milk.
It's milk.
Milk's too generic. It's too...
No, you can argue with you all you want, but I guess there's enough cows in the state of Maryland to where they... Now, I didn't specify cow milk, goat milk. I got nipples. Can you milk me, Greg? But back to football, because this season, so my drink of choice, I was leading you on that. My drink of choice is Jaden Daniels. At least you should rename it. I do want to make T-shirts that look like Jack Daniels. I've seen them around. Barstool, I think, gets on top of everything.
I think they had him at one point, but I don't think...
Well, all they did was steal the Jack Daniels logo
and put Jaden Daniels across it. Yeah.
Okay, well, so does that mean it's theirs? Does that mean I can't make that T-shirt? Is that what that means?
Well, I mean, do you think they had to pay like a copyright infringement, whatever?
Well, the Jack Daniels logo is really just like a...
Or is it community...
like a handkerchief.
Or is it community property at this point because it's everywhere?
Hard tell.
I don't know.
Classic hard tell.
We'll have to get the marketing department on that, figure that out.
Does that mean?
Us collectively. So we'll have an update for you on that next week.
So club level this year comes with free food,
free parking pass,
and free park. I mean, we're paying more for these tickets for sure. So it's delicately using the word free. I mean, it comes with the ticket.
Oh, remind me, I got to clarify with our rep that our parking pass is in the red zone lot.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember if I clarified that. It should be.
Okay.
Now that those tickets are paid off. Oh, but I'll have to clarify because I'm pretty sure with the old rep, I told them what we wanted, but I don't know since they switched us over if that was relayed.
How come every time we just get assigned some random rep, we always just assume it's just this hot chick on the phone?
Well, but this one is. Well, we probably shouldn't say that, but
I don't know. We don't know. We've never met her.
She sounded pretty good.
That's the thing, man. When you're talking about football and you hear a girl on the other line talking about football, you're just like, yeah, baby. Anywho, yeah, I realized just since we started talking, we got to work on our ums. I got to work on my ums. This is podcast number one. So... outside of a voicemail recording, this is probably the longest I've ever been recorded. We're just fans here, folks. We're not these ESPNers.
We're the everyday common man.
Yeah, we're not ESPN 980. I listen to them all the time. That's the thing. That was the whole thing about this podcast. We're going to talk about the game on the way to the game anyway. So we just figured if you guys wanted any type of insight over our experience as season ticket holders, is our experience going to the game, we're going to try to be the first ones in the lot. I mean, we're trying to be the first ones in the lot anyway. I love to cook.
And because we're in the red zone lot, for those that don't know, that lot opens an hour before the other lots. So I think it's like, is it 9 and everything else opens at 10, or is it 8 and everything opens at 9? I forget.
I forget too.
It's an hour ahead of the other lots. So that's a perk.
Yeah. So the idea, we're going to upload, and if you get to the game, if you plan on getting to the game by 11 o'clock for a 1 o'clock game,
you're too late.
Well, not for the pod.
Well, yeah, but I mean, just to get an effective tailgate.
If we can get in, do they open it up at 8 o'clock? Well, we'll find out soon.
I think it's 8 for the red zone lot, and everything else opens at 9.
So if we upload at 8, and then how do I turn this thing off? Fantasy group message going off. Fantasy football coming up.
Yeah, you're a couple weeks away from that, aren't you?
Yeah. Labor Day weekend, that Saturday. It's a must. Got to show up.
That's kind of late for you guys, isn't it? Don't you usually do it in August?
Well, that's the thing. We used to argue back and forth over which day is everybody available and all this stuff, because we do a live draft.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome.
Where are you doing it this year? Are you doing it at your house, or are you going to one of the other guys?
Going to Matt's house. He's got his pool and a little pool pavilion all finished up with fire pit and all that kind of stuff. So
nice.
We're gonna go there, drink a bunch of beer, eat a bunch of pizza and wings, and I'm gonna draft another stellar team. I need to check that, but I think I drafted Jaden Daniels in the 8th round last year, and then I took Kirk Cousins in the 10th round, and then I dropped Kirk Cousins' ass by week 2.
And he's still with Atlanta, right? We didn't miss anything. He's still
the most expensive backup in the league, from what I can gather. Kirk Cousins done well for himself. I don't know if he's had the same representation the whole time, but his agent probably has done really well for himself. Just saying.
They're not Cleveland. They're not collecting quarterbacks like Infinity Stones.
I mean, there's a part of me that still wishes that we had Kirk. Kirk looks at the league like a business. You can't blame the guy for doing that, getting the most money that he can, and he'll say that he was looking for the best situation at each time, but every place he goes is going like, yeah, I was meant to be there. I really want to be here. Da-da-da-da-da. And it's just like, yeah, well, they also are paying you the most.
Well, I mean, how many times did we franchise him? 3 or 4 times, I thought.
Well, that's the thing. He just...
So he made an astronomical amount of money on those 1-year, tag deals that we were giving him. He was getting, what, 15, 20 million for a season when maybe at that time it wasn't worth it?
Well, I think he's proven that he is worth it. Until this Achilles injury, he was a pretty healthy guy.
But we did that instead of trying to sign him to a long-term deal, because that's what we did at the time.
But that's the thing. Can we really blame, proof is in the pudding. Our front office at that point in time, now we know, was just not a professional. It was just not a professionally run organization. It had all sorts of problems. I mean, when you've got the hashtag Fire Bruce Allen going as viral as it did, and you still have the owner defending him 8 weeks into that, it's just crazy. Everything that we went through. That's the past, Michael. This is the future. We don't need to worry about all that stupid stuff. We got Jaden Daniels. He's the man. I read he's kicking people out of the huddle for jumping off sides and stuff the other day. That's what we want to hear. Those are the stories. I love hearing stories how he's watching the sunrise with Cliff Kingsbury. He's at the building at 4:30 in the morning, and they have their morning meditation session as the sun comes up.
Yeah, I saw that today.
Am I glorifying it?
He's in the stadium at 4 a.m. running drills hours before anyone else shows up. So year 2, and he's already acting like a vet. Of course, his rookie year, he's kind of doing the same thing.
He's just so cool.
He's committed.
I'm 36
and that's what
years
we need.
old, and I've never thought that a 22-year-old was so cool in my life. Is he 22?
I mean, he's certainly no older than that.
Do you think his favorite drink is Jack Daniels?
Maybe Mountain Dew.
You think they're related?
Well, I don't think his mom lets him drink. So,
oh, there you go. A little dagger at Mama Bear. Let her do whatever she's doing.
He can't date. So what makes you think if he can't date, some WNBA star or college
what they said?
Player, he certainly can't drink that much alcohol, I wouldn't think.
You know what they said? I don't want him drinking alcohol. I want him throwing touchdowns. But what Mama don't know won't hurt her. Mama and Robs. Anyway, next on the list, I wanted to talk about who we are excited for. I mean, everybody's got to give us, everybody's got their favorite players. Everybody's got their favorite people on the team. Now, we're excluding Jaden Daniels out of this because Jaden Daniels is my favorite player.
And he's eclipsed all expectations in that rookie year that it's just unfair to do that.
Yeah. No, and you know what? All this sophomore slump stuff that people want to throw out there too, which is, it happens, right? It happens. it is such a thing as sophomore slumps, but you know who doesn't suffer from the sophomore slumps? It's the greats. The greats don't have sophomore slumps. The greats come into the league, they blow it up, and then they just continue forever to blow it up. As soon as they get the opportunity to, boom. So, is he a great? We're going to find out. And we'll be there.
I mean, if he does, we'll say, half of what he did in his rookie year, I'd be okay with that.
No, I mean, he's got to do way more than half. I mean, half, we need him to do more. No, we need him to do more. But I know what you're saying. But,
Well, because no one expected him to have the rookie year that he did.
right. Well, give me your first player that you're got your eye on for this year, if in some way, shape, or form, that you're going to be tracking or that you're a fan of, or what.
So, as you know, I'm a big fan of Luke McCaffrey, just because he's a McCaffrey, and I want him to do well, and I'm happy that he's with our team. And, all last season I was saying, give him the ball, test him out, see if he can, make the big time catches. And they really didn't utilize him in that sort of wide receiver type role. They used him more as a kick returner. And
Which he was effective at.
well, I mean, he did 10 kick returns for almost 300 yards, where as opposed to his, receiving and catching.
Is that true?
Yeah.
10?
He
had 10 kick
out of
returns.
17 games, he did 10 returns for 299 yards, so practically 300.
I think that's a decent average, right?
It's 30
We had
yards.
Crowder
yeah.
back there. We had Crowder back there. A decent amount, right?
Where he only made, when they used him as a receiver in some capacity, he only had 18 receptions for the entire year for about 168, 70 yards. So he was used more as a punt returner.
Well, hopefully he can come in with a full off season now that he knows kind of what it's like to be in the league, because I think what goes unnoticed with rookies is they go through all that stuff to try to get drafted, the combines and all the interviews and all that stuff. And they finally get drafted, and then it's like immediately into the rookie camps, and then it just goes right over into the OTAs and then in training camp, and they're just trying to soak everything up like a sponge. But in their own way, that off season is a busy one, coming in as a rookie, trying to obtain the entire playbook and all that stuff. So now he's had a whole season, a whole off season. Hopefully he can catch his stride, because I'd like to see him just for the simple fact that you love a player that the audience can chant to, and I love a ooh.
Yeah, which they were doing many times, last season. So
give me a player to do well just for that fact. Well, my guy.
yeah, what about your guy? Who's your guy?
It's similar to Luke. We haven't seen anything of him. He's a rook. But everybody keeps talking about Trey Amos, which is not my answer. My answer is Madrano. This boy, Madrano, linebacker. I forget what college, somebody tell me. But remember, we were watching some highlights.
Yeah.
We were watching some film. This Madrano guy has got all the opportunities in the world. Our linebackers are some of the most experienced in the league. Now, everybody's going to say old, but shut up. Look, we got a deer here. Don't come out in the road. Skies are looking dark.
Yeah, we could be driving into some weather here, hard tell.
Hardtail, classic hardtail. But Madrano is my rookie. I don't know how many snaps he's going to get, but he's the guy that I'm going to track similar to your McCaffrey. And then I'll just go back to back with my next guy. Is going to be Duron bring the pain.
And it would be interesting to see, like, not from a rookie standpoint, but some of the vets we signed, like Von Miller. You know, what kind of person are we going to get out? You know, what are we going to get out of him this year?
I mean, what did he say? I wake up out of bed, put on my slippers, and rush the quarterback.
Sounds like something he would say. Can't say it was specifically him, but sounds like.
See, that's the other thing. That's what you want. Like, our defense is going to be mean, and it's going to start from Duran. It's got to start from Duran. John Allen ain't here no more. He's the big dude on the D-line. He's the alpha. He is like, whoa, he's like a big old Rottweiler. You know, he's an apex predator, Duran Payne. You know this. He is the grizzly bear. What else?
The 1-2 punch of Deebo Samuel and Terry, assuming that by the time
I guess we have
post
to
this,
talk
that
about
we,
Terry, right? But
we could do a whole episode on the Terry thing.
we're not going to.
Yeah, we're not.
I mean, they're shoving this Terry, and this is the thing. This is what Terry wanted. He wanted to start this buzz, and he wanted it to just entice the conversation to happen. And we don't know if they're happening or not. But I can't control it. You can't control it. We're going to go to the games regardless. Here's the thing. And I told you this last week. I didn't know what day it was, but my prediction was one of these evenings. It was going to be like a 9:30 p.m. news. It was going to be... I thought it was going to happen before this preseason game.
Well, it still might. It's only Wednesday, so
Right now it's Wednesday.
We've got 48 hours before the first preseason game at 7 o'clock maybe is when kickoff is, maybe 8.
I think it's 8.
I never know the timing of the preseason.
But they're not going to sign on Friday. That's what I told you. I was like, it's going to happen Monday through Thursday. Sometime around 9:30. It could happen tonight. You know, we could be 3 hours away from this announcement, and this podcast could now be old.
Yeah, we could be severely outdated.
I say $91 million, 3 years is what it's going to be. The 91 gets it up there with some incentives. But, all right, people, we just got to the park and ride, and we are hanging a Louie. We would be hanging a roadie going down the road to Northwest Stadium at this point, but right now we are headed to Foster's on the Point in Hagerstown, Maryland to get our drink. But
great service, great food, by the way.
Yeah, I like their wings.
We'll call that a free plug. They'll pay us back for that, maybe at some point.
Free drink. We get a Jaden Daniels on the rocks. But did you have another player?
No, that was...
You just had Luke.
Yeah.
We'll come up with another player. Brian Robinson?
I mean, he could have...
Disappointing thinking, like... And that, does everybody think...
What about Eckler?
Well, what about Eckler? Is that your guy? Pick your guy. Oh, Sinnott? Tunsil? What's the big guy on the offensive line that we just drafted that everybody's all high on?
Oh, Amos? Is that how you... Is that...
Oh, that's the safety.
Well,
He's the DB.
You're better with the rookies than I am.
It's because I watch my tape. I watch my film. I basically just go on YouTube and watch about 16 minutes worth of highlights on each one and just call it my research. But obviously didn't look too hard. I can't remember what college Madrano went to. But that's the thing I don't remember. College is tough for me. I'm a football fan, but NFL all the way, baby. I mean, I'll pay attention to what's happening in college, but not enough to remember anybody's name. I learn them once they become our team.
Right.
obviously I know like the guys that everybody's high on.
That's why I'm not too crazy about preseason in general, because half the people you're watching and hearing about probably aren't going to make the final roster.
We're on the same page with preseason games. We're paying for the tickets anyway. We can't sell the dang things for more than $20 a pop.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it was front row. But I like going just to kind of get a feel for the stadium, see what they've done in the off season.
And we're going to test out our new seats, and we're going to check out the food situation because we don't know what
we're not
doing.
tailgating on the preseason.
Yeah,
games. We're gonna get our free food. Take advantage of the. I gotta stop saying free. No, you know what?
No, but it is free, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
say it.
Free. I was gonna say included, but it just doesn't make me feel the same way.
I mean, we have to pay for our alcohol, but the food itself is free.
What food did we get last year that was really good inside the stadium? Anything?
What was it? The one game we got there earlier, and we went to the like the outside. I'll call it like an outside patio. What do they call that place?
Yeah.
And we got
some kind of plaza where they got the band.
Legends Plaza.
They have some food trucks.
And we got some kind of like, was it like a? It was like a crab egg roll or something, because it had like some type of seasoning over top of it. It was pretty good. It was like a crab egg roll or something. It was one of the new foods that you pointed out to me in the YouTube video from last season when they told us all about all the new food options that were a little bit more upscale.
I love Josh Harris, don't you? I was never a Magic Johnson fan before, but I'm coming around to the guy. Not that I was indifferent on the guy. It's not like I was a Lakers fan or anything like that. But
I mean, is it
once he buys into us, like I buy into you, brother. Man, like let's go.
I mean, is it possible to have two saviors, JD and Harris? I don't know.
Josh Harris is my favorite. He just seems like he's just happy to be everywhere he is, talking about the team. Magic Johnson seems extremely happy. I wish I could remember the other dudes' names. If you'd said if it was in multiple choice, I'd get it.
I don't even know if I would get it.
Actually, it's just the one other dude I would get. But it doesn't matter. Josh Harris is the dude.
And there's a female in there somewhere, but I don't know.
And Magic Johnson is the guy. He's the guy. He's our guy. I know the players love talking to him. Uh-oh.
So
let these guys merge.
So food, obviously for preseason, we're mainly going to take advantage of the free food. But when the regular season pops around, it's kind of going to be probably 50-50, right? Somewhere in there where we're either tailgating with some type or taking advantage of the club level free food.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're going to take advantage. We're going to find our favorites. I want to find like a nice halftime snack that's like my go-to,
Yeah, we didn't really find that in the 400 level other than a pretzel, but
no. The one time I got this burger up top there.
Oh, and you got the nachos, the stadium-sized nachos,
yeah, but I'll be honest,
like beef nachos.
They were brisket, but
brisket, yeah.
To expect brisket in mass quantities like that for the stadium to be like good. That's a tough ask. Not to mention they advertise like a beer cheese. I'll be honest, I'll be the first one to go out and say, don't give me the beer cheese on that stuff. It just makes everything soggy.
Yeah.
Give me the shredded cheese, just melted shredded cheese. But it is what it is. No, but if you had to pick of all the food that I cooked last season, if you had to pick one dish that I was going to recreate and do again this year, let's say it at the count of three.
The steak sandwich.
1, 2, 3 steak sandwich, yeah. It was. That was so good.
That was by far the best thing.
I just took like a New York strip and just sliced it up, put it on some nice bread.
Got some arugula for the crunch.
Hey now. I find find a recipe I like, I stick to it. And if I'm going to go get lettuce anyway, but the recipe calls for arugula, then screw it, I'm going to get arugula. You know,
there was some kind of seasoning I think you did on the steak as well. I think you added maybe some type of like a marinade. There you go.
I think it was like a teriyaki with some Worcestershire.
But yeah, that's the one to redo for.
I put some like horseradish mayo on that too. Did I also make a side with that?
I'm sure you did, but I don't remember what it was. It wasn't anything like a baked bean or anything like that.
No.
But there was some kind of side to it.
Chips.
Maybe, I don't remember. We always have a little side with what we're doing, whatever it is.
Right. All right, come on, let me over. Let my big butt over. Thank you.
Merging is always fun.
All right, we're winding down here. This is our first pod. Now, so this week, what do we think? Jaden Daniels is not playing, so I don't care about any prediction score on a preseason game, but we're practicing with the Pats right now. Beating each other up, beating a new team up for the first time all training camp, which I know they gotta love. And we got some ex-players on the Patriots. I forget exactly. Antonio Gibson's still up there, I think. Which it was weird to see that Von Miller picked 24 as his new jersey number. And I just think of Antonio Gibson with that number. But I forget who else they got, but I think they got 2 or 3 other of our ex-players, but they can have our trash. We don't want them no more. But who do we think we're going to see? We're going to see our rookies, I would imagine.
Yeah, they got to test them out.
And then, do we think we're going to see Debo?
No, you won't see any of the vets on week one preseason. You're going to see the vets in the very last preseason game for like maybe the first half.
Do we see
maybe the first quarter? Well, who else do we have?
Is it Hartman?
We still have Hartman, so maybe they'll play him. I don't know. They might.
Game?
Well, they might.
I know they're going through some issues right now with running back.
If Mariota is your true backup.
Issues with running back being who makes the team. We got a rookie. We got an undrafted guy. We still got McNichols and Rodriguez, and we've got Robinson and Eckler. That's a lot of people. Yeah, not everybody can stay. And then I think McNichols and Rodriguez are both sitting there like...
They're fighting for the same spot.
Well, yeah, but both of them are in a situation to where they're not going to take, nor should they take the practice squad role, because they can start for another team or back up somebody else for another team.
Yeah.
And you want to wish the best for those guys trying to stick around and make an impact in the league. But I was going to say earlier, it's disappointing with Robinson. It just feels like is there anything that he can do this season outside of setting records for us to re-sign him next season? And even if he did run for 2,000 yards.
Well, if he runs for 2,000 yards, you re-sign him.
Well, you'd like to think that. But then his price tag goes up astronomically, and then as an organization, you got to wonder, okay, he's under a contract here. He ran for 2,000 yards. He's a young guy. Sure, he's been shot in the leg, but outside of that, pretty damn reliable.
Yeah. The good old shot in the leg.
Yeah, but then these conversations that we're having about Terry, they just get that much more complicated. So it's like, I don't know if there's anything the dude can do. I don't know what situation. I mean, unless he runs for 2,000 and becomes that lead back, and you don't need to pay the other guys like Eckler, and we don't need to really establish that.
Well, you look at B-Rob as the number one guy. So if you're going to re-sign him, he's going to be the lead guy, just like Terry's our lead receiver, and anyone else is going to complement him.
Yeah, we need Terry. We need Terry.
But
Terry's so much fun to watch, too. He sucks every single ball up.
But it looks like we're here at Foster's on the Point.
We finish up with this. This day, we'll say...
And they are packed, by the way. They are busy tonight.
This weekend in Redskins football history, 88 years ago on August 9th, 1937. I just found this interesting. I just get away with ChatGPT. Owner at the time, George Preston Marshall, he formed the first professional marching band. And we had the only marching band in the league for I don't know how many years. Other teams tried to replicate it. I remember as a kid going to a Ravens game and they had a marching band. And I know other teams have tried to have a marching band, but we're the first ones, and we're the ones known. We're known for the marching band. Hail to the Redskins wasn't written until 1 year later, but 1937, the year that the marching band for the Washington football team at the time was formed, that was quarterback Sammy Ball's rookie year, and we went on to win the championship, the world championship. It wasn't the Super Bowl because it wasn't the NFL at the time, but I always just kind of like that stuff.
Well, and that's your fun fact for the day.
Everybody's fun factoid of the day. Now, last thing I wanted to touch on, just being that it's our first podcast, I'd like to set the record straight on how we may refer to the team in the pod. I call them the Redskins. I call them the Commanders. I call them Washington. I call them the team. I call them everything.
We're going to be referring to them by all their current and former names.
So if you're one of these people that get offended by the word and the term Redskins, we're sorry, but they were my favorite football team. I don't mean any offense by it. But at the same time, too, Commanders has started to, I've begun to warm up to it. And I've really chose not to really have too firm of a stance on how I hope everything happens with the name. I do think ultimately...
we're locked into this name. I don't think that's really going to...
You think the best thing that we'll get to possibly or anything that has to do with our history is, you think there's any chance we get the logo back?
You get... Well, it's going to start with the retro jerseys that are coming out this season. You might get the logo on some merchandise, some T-shirts, stuff like that, but not in terms of the uniform on the field. You might see it in T-shirts and stuff at the team store, but not on the uniform.
Well, I'll tell you when we'll get all of our answers. You ready? And this is not breaking news, but we'll know by the new stadium. Because whatever our logo for the next 100 years is going to be, it's going to be everywhere on that brand new stadium. So If they're going to switch it.
And we've got 5 or 6 years before the new stadium.
They're going to switch it. We'll find out by then. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, thank you guys for listening. As of right now, we've only got 2 listeners, Mike. Me and you are the only ones that have heard this.
But we'll see the rest of them in the lot.
In the red zone lot. Next week, we've got the Bengals, and we're going to the game.
Bengals on the 18th.
We're going to the game, so Bengals on the 18th this is what we'll call our training camp episode, because we don't know how this sounds, but we're going to upload this. So next week, first official Command the Commute on the way to Northwest. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks.
Give me said, give me a hell yeah!
Thanks for listening to the Command the Commute podcast. I now welcome you to crack a cold beer, cook up some chicken wings, and enjoy the football game. Because the Commanders, the team, the Redskins, or whatever else you call them, is going to kick some ass. If this is a home game, Bob and Michael will be in the red zone lot at Northwest Stadium. We encourage you to come to our tailgate and say hello. If you are still listening to the podcast, wow, you are an extremely loyal listener. I wonder how much longer you'll stay. Hey, I've got a question. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? You've got mail. Goodbye.